Good morning, friends. Welcome to the broadcast. We are on site with Old Yeller today, Orville, a load of Class 1 riprap, which is about the size of shot rock around here, and we are going to get started on this little project. First thing I am going to do is cut that log loose there. Actually, I think that's an old power pole that is just absolutely rotten. It's really not serving any purpose. I think the original idea was they had the wall built up and they put that across the top to hold the ends in. But at this point, with it falling down, it is actually pulling down on this. So I'm going to cut this end loose first. That way when that end comes loose, it's not going to put a twist on this. I believe I would have done a poured concrete wall instead of using old power poles, but that's all right. Got some big stone to work with today. I'm excited. Let's get started. I think now I'm going to get over here and try to pull some of this dirt from behind this felling wall. That way when I pull those old timbers out, not too much sediment goes into the creek. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and just try to pull these timbers out and move forward with this little project. Well, I won't tell a lie. I hung the water line, but I didn't bust it. I'm pretty sure. I'll know by the end of the day if I did. But it works out anyway, because pulling it up, I can move it back a little bit and we can slope this bank back even more, which will be beneficial. So let's get to sloping. We'll get somewhere now. You betcha. Oh yeah. Here. That's the depth it's supposed to be anyway. I won't leave that rock there. Leave my shovel. Hung that thing because they're supposed to be 18 inches deep. 18 inches deep it is not. I'll at least get this end of him fixed the way it should have been to begin with. Real good. Alright, now that's about 18 inches. Stay put, please. There. Now then, we're gonna get somewhere now. You betcha. You betcha. I do not want to lose this thing now. So, I draw from the edge of my trench. An arrow. And I'm going to measure how far it is over that line. 16 inches. I'm going to go 16. Just for my reference. Same thing here. Some of y'all think I'm a fool, which I may be. From the end of this arrow, it is 2 feet. I'm gonna go 2 feet, 16 inches. 16 inches, 2 feet. Now this over here, I'm not gonna go past this stump, so plenty of room. I'm gonna do something here too. Let's see. We'll do it from the edge of the road here. See what we got. That is 22 inches. 22 inches. Alrighty. Let's cover it up. Yeah. Now we'll do the hillbilly two-step. Now let's put my reference points back in here. boy. I do not want to pull this rock to my pipe. No, no, no. Now we got our water line buried properly. I'm going to circle around down there, pull that big chunk of concrete, what it looks like, out of my way, get this bank sloped. Then we'll see about getting some fabric and riprap down. That's turned out pretty good. I've got it sloped back the way I want it to. It's a little steeper over this way than what I would like, but because of the location of the water line and the box culvert, it's really the best that I can do without just cutting that water line, moving it, and I really don't think there's a whole lot of benefit to that. As well as there's one beam down there that is completely solid. It's not showing any signs of rot. It's elevated out of the water, and it actually has a little bit of a cavern up under it that's dry, so I'm going to leave that in place. That way, once I get my fabric down there, that first line of stone that I put down, I'll be able to tuck it up and under that, and hopefully further waterproof this wall. Now this exposed little section of water line, what my plan is I'm going to get my fabric down and I'm going to start building the riprap outflow wall up. And once I get up to in this area, I'll have a wall and I'll be able to put dirt on top of the fabric right there. That's just the way that I'm gonna have to do it. And then I'll be able to build my riprap on up if I think it needs it. Joke is done here in a little bit. Let's just push some dirt onto here. What I would like to do is get some dirt at the top of this fabric, just to kind of help hold it down. You'd be surprised at how well it helps. Till I can get some stone on there. Let's see. Dirt's heavy. Dirt is heavy. Now, let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag one of these poles over here and mark that water pipe. I messaged them to see if I could just go ahead and cover it. I hadn't heard back. I cannot imagine any reason that they would not want it covered, but I can always dig it back out. There. There. Let's place some rock. I didn't want to get too big of a pile at one time here at the road because traffic's kind of coming and going. What I'm going to do now is one at a time I'm going to pick through the biggest rocks, put them down at the bottom and work my way up. That's what, 8 tons of class 1 riprap looks like. Not much. Let's go get us another load. Good. I got this side set up with the class 1. We're going to go ahead and bounce over to the other side, get it graded out, get fabric down, put what little class 1 we need to put over there, and then we'll be able to finish these off with putting class B riprap at the top half. I apologize, everybody. Yesterday I had to kind of just drop filming simply because I had to start placing a lot of this riprap by hand, and I will show you why. But this is how this side finished out. The small side. And the reason why I was having to place it by hand was because since I came and did this quote, they had a bit of material fall out from under there. It went back about 3 feet, so I was having to crawl under there and place each rock by hand to make sure that it covered the soil well and locked in to where it's not going to just come out. So yeah, that was less than fun, but I got this little side done. I'm pleased with it. I was able to slope this back a little. Somewhere there's another water line, and my customer had no idea where it was at. That side over there, while it looks rough, has not changed, and it's been a while since I came here. Just a side note, I did a little bit of just extra work for them up through here. I sloped this roadside back because you can see up toward the mailboxes the water was trying to worm trail in here, so I sloped this whole side back to get water off at this point. And I also opened this back up. It was just kind of cutting and then just leaching in wherever, which this is very sedimentary, but you can see we've got a good little flow. There's a bunch of springs coming out from this hillside up through there, so hopefully that will help this. And it's not the prettiest of work, honestly, because it was free. But it made me feel better about leaving this job to get that water away from the road as quickly as possible. They wanted me just to leave these old rotten timbers just off to the sides. This is just one of those function jobs. You can see I didn't have to sew and straw this. This turned out quite well. I had to place all of these by hand to lock them into the edge of that box. In an ideal world, in ideal budgeting, it would have been nice to just hire somebody to put a wall up and pour concrete behind it, and then I could have built from there out. But all of this, it would have been nice to be able to do concrete, but I believe the way I locked the rocks in and stacked them, they'll stay. They wanted me just to line the bottom of this wall with some riprap for extra measure. And as said before, when I started the job, I put class 1 riprap at the bottoms and then class B up toward the tops. My first load of class B I wasn't really happy with. It's supposed to be the size of footballs, so I went ahead at my expense just to feel good about it. Brought another load this morning, and I believe it'll lock in really well. But we would slope that bank back so as water comes out of this box culvert, it can just kind of widen out to the sides and reduce the height, if you will. So for function, I am quite pleased. You can imagine the amount of water that goes through that box. What is that, 6 feet by 6 feet? I don't know what that thing used to be. I think it's an old container, like a trailer. I'm almost positive. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. I had a great time on this project, and you guys just be sure to help this hillbilly out with 3 things: like, comment, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And as always, down in the description, I'll put a handy link so you can go check out some of our Digging Life swag, merchandise, whatever you want to call it. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you on the next project.